Tika.
A game of peekaboo in Tagalog is all it takes to make this little girl smile. Eliza Otis is a happy one-year-old child, and like any toddler, she's curious and playful. Her parents say she eats well, goes to the bathroom normally, and behaves like any other child her age. But her delicate little body of skin and bones has her parents worried about her future. She's suffering from an unknown illness. Sheltered from the pouring rain, we sat outside the home of Stefan and Lida Otis to talk about their daughter's health.
Tapos pa-check up naman uman.
Stefan says when Eliza was 6 months old, she was very sick with a high fever. She recovered, but that's when they noticed her little body stopped developing. She wasn't gaining any weight. They brought Eliza to the hospital, and the doctors wanted to admit her and conduct tests to figure out what was ailing this little girl. But health care is not free in the Philippines, and the Otis family simply couldn't afford the medical tests.
How does that make you feel?
Speaking about his daughter's health is emotional for Stefan. Most days he works in the rice fields and picks up as many carpentry jobs as he can find. But he only earns about 1,000 pesos a month. That's about $25. Not enough to pay for the medical care his daughter needs and feed his other 4 children. The Otis parents believe the only way to break out of poverty is education. Their older children attend class every day.
Education is so important to the Otis parents that even after the kids return home from school, they continue to tutor them. They have the alphabet out on a rice bag. Addition and spelling. They're hoping this will continue to reinforce what they've learned in school.
In the meantime, Stefan will continue to work hard to earn whatever he can for his family in hopes of someday getting the help needed for his little Eliza.
You were playing with her and you were holding Eliza earlier. You seem to have a very special bond with your daughter.
He says he loves his children and would do anything for them. But the root problem of poverty is keeping this family from finding out what's wrong with Eliza.
Certainly is the other side of the issue. I mean, we talked about a lot about finding employment and building on things that are spelled out by World Vision and stuff. But there are a lot of families out there who have that double problem. They're in poverty. Their children, are malnourished and so on. And in this case, they have no money or means to find out what's wrong with that child.
Right, and in this case, it's an unknown illness. They just can't simply afford a medical test. This is a problem we ran into often. The parents have to decide, okay, well, we have so much funding per month that the fathers earn. We either feed the 5 children or take that money to get Eliza medical tests. Well, there's no question there. They have to keep the family alive. They have to feed them. So Eliza they'll never know. And it's heartbreaking too. She was such an adorable little girl. During the interview, she was starting to fuss like any 1-year-old little girl would, doesn't want to sit still in her parents' lap. I handed her over, but she was touching my watch. So I took my watch off and she just played with it the whole time and was mesmerized by, being able to make it light up. She was an adorable little girl.
Yeah, a normal little girl, right?
Very much.
Who needs some medical attention that the family just cannot
And
afford.
in a case like this, the father is the person in this family that really struck me. He was very emotional every time we spoke with him. You could see a tear running down his eye in one clip there because, as any father would, he wants to provide for his children and he wants his children to be healthy, and working 3 jobs is still not enough. So this is where World Vision comes in a case like this.
This is the backup plan is when World Vision comes in, they get sponsors for these children and they make sure that young children like Eliza get the care that they need. And
Absolutely. That kind of funding can go towards setting up a medical center in the community that they live in. So it doesn't only help Eliza. If there's other kids in that community that get sponsored too, and there's enough money that comes into that area through this campaign of hopefully getting 2,000 kids sponsored, that's the kind of money that could go towards a medical center where they can have doctors and nurses and the kids can get the help.
It's so heartbreaking, though, to walk into that situation.
It certainly is.
And I did the same thing when I was on my trip a few times. And it's something you don't get used to see these children who badly need some medical attention.
It's very tough to see every time.
Yeah, it's not a situation we're used to. We got our update now on World Vision and the campaign here in the nation's capital.
We're coming along, 700 so far.
That's pretty good.
That is, but the goal is 2,000, so we still have a long way to go.
We still have a few weeks left in the campaign. It's easy. There's a link on our website, right?
That's right. And you know, next week, if you have questions, I'm going to show you next Monday at this time. Our next story is an Ottawa woman and the connection. She sponsors a little girl in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I took a gift from her to the Philippines for this little girl. Then last week, brought her the video on my laptop of when we gave it to her. Well, oh my goodness, it was so emotional and so exciting. It's not something every sponsor gets to see. Usually they get a letter and a picture. Marilyn was extremely excited to be able to actually see and hear her little sponsor child.
Just for your information, ladies and gentlemen, so you're not surprised, and you know a lot of people have this question. It's somewhere around $35 a month.
Yes.
To sponsor a child. $35 a month.
Yep.
Think about that for a second. All right, we're headed back to Audrey's. I know we're all gearing up for Halloween around here, and Sarah Freemark has got some great info for you at Audrey's this morning. Sarah.